Right, this will make you laugh. Well, I think it made me laugh. So I camp over that way, quite high up. Brilliant spot in terms of views and stuff, but it was a little bit rocky. The wind got up. I didn't sleep that well. The wind was so noisy. When I woke up this morning, a couple of my pegs had pulled out. Tent stayed up though, that was the main thing. But yeah, I think it was sort of on my mind. So I didn't sleep very well, and like I said, the noise. Anyway, I've walked a 1 mile so far today, and I've just come down this big valley, very overgrown by the way, and then I've got this behind me here, totally flat. Can you see it? Totally flat. A bench. I could have sat at the bench. It's nice and low down. Yeah, it would have been perfect. It happens all the time. You find somewhere, you think, right, this is it now, it's nearly dark, I'm going to have to settle down. You walk around the corner and the perfect spot is there. Oh well, that's the way it goes. Well, you can't walk on, then you can walk back, so you've got no choice. So yeah, I've seen one person so far today. He made me laugh. He's I think he's in hotels and stuff, but he's walked from Minehead, or he's stopping at Plymouth, and then he'll finish it the other bit later. It's quite unusual actually when people are doing, you know, with the day packs and doing hotels and stuff. They don't normally do it in quite such a big stint, so that's quite unusual. So expensive, don't know how you'd afford it. But I was saying to him, "Oh, you know, how are you enjoying it?" He says, "Oh, just get me to Plymouth. I've had enough. Oh, I'm done now." He said, "It's been great, but yeah, I'm just 2 more days. I'm in Plymouth. Yeah, I've had enough. The view, yeah, whatever. Just get me home." It just made me laugh. I appreciated his honesty. Anyway, I'm going to get on. I'm going to take this off. It's gone hot. I'm going to get walking.
I'm not going to talk for long because I'm in a campsite tonight and it's late, so I don't want to disturb anyone really. Although there's cars outside and they're pretty noisy, so maybe I'm worried about nothing. It's quite a long day. I did about 22 miles, I think. I wanted to get to a campsite ready today because I knew I didn't sleep very well last night because of the wind. So I slept in my clothes because I was worried that I might have to abandon tent. So I slept in my clothes, which is never very nice. And I could tell that today, that I'd been in them for a long time. And like I said, the wind was so noisy, I couldn't really sleep. So today I thought, right, just press on to a campsite. And I'm at a campsite that I've been to before. But it was a long way. And the last 5 miles were really difficult. The path was overgrown, a lot of undulation. I was tripping over stuff that I couldn't see because of the undergrowth. So the last 5 miles wasn't much fun, but I did manage to get here for 8 o'clock. And I've now showered as well, and that's another thing I wanted. So I'm showered and I'm in my my night t-shirt, a t-shirt I sleep in and some shorts I sleep in. So I'm not going to be as sticky with sun protection and stuff like that. So I'm really glad I'm at a campsite. I think it was needed. And I'm not going to rush in the morning. I think they do breakfast on site. So I'm just going to take my time. And then tomorrow I'll assess how far I want to go. There is another campsite I know about, but that's another 20 odd miles. So I'll just get walking. If I think I'm going to make it there, I'll go there. Otherwise, I'll find an alternative. I'm not going to hold myself to anything. But the day actually went very well. It's like a contradiction. I made really good progress, but I was a bit grumpy because but I kept on telling myself, you're just grumpy because you're tired. And that's all. It's not because you're not enjoying yourself or because the walk's no good. It's just because you're tired. And also, this last 5 miles, these really tough miles, I haven't got to do them now, have I? They're behind me. So it's all positive now. I'm just hoping I get a good night's sleep tonight. I just took my one of my battery banks into the security guard's hut and he's plugged it in for me. So that's quite handy. I wasn't going to ask, but he seemed happy enough. He did originally say, can I pick it up at 2 a.m? And I looked at him a bit funny and he went, oh, you'll want to sleep, won't you? And I thought, yeah. So they're going to leave it with reception in the morning. Got some strawberries. Strawberries I'm snacking on. So I'm quite happy now. I'll leave it there before anyone knocks on my tent door. Go, shut up. Okay. See you tomorrow.
These low trees, there's loads of them and they're driving me mad. Trying to get underneath them, I know it doesn't look that difficult, but when you got the pack on your back, the weight, as you lean forward and try and bend down like in forward limbo or something, it's just really hard. Okay. Right, things have improved, but you didn't know that they were bad, so you don't really need to know they've improved. I've just been struggling a bit today. Feels every step just feels hard work today, and I thought, because I had a really good night's sleep last night, quite relaxed this morning, I thought today was going to be easy, but yeah, there's just something about it. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, and I feel so guilty because everyone wants to do this walk. Well, not everyone, but most people watching this want to do this walk, and there's me being a bit grumpy on a day, so that makes me feel a little bit guilty, but it is what it is. And if you're struggling, aren't you? It's not my fault, I guess. I keep on drinking water and it doesn't, and I'm still thirsty. I'm eating, everything's okay. So I think it's just a difficult day. Maybe it's just a bit humid or something. I have, at the last place, can't remember what it's called, Poole or something, I had a lollipop though, and that hit the spot, cooled me down, and it was a drink, so that was really nice. So I thought I'll delay the video so I'm feeling a bit better, and I am now feeling a bit better. So I've only done 6 miles so far, and it's very late. It's 2:30. So that was bothering me before my lollipop. Now it's not bothering me so much. I'm talking garbled, aren't I? So yeah, day started struggling. Everything felt difficult. Got some food, still felt difficult, and then lollipop, better. Lollipop made things good. So maybe that'll be my new craving. There's one of those Calippo things in the packet. Just really need it though, just really hit the spot. The path's really nice. It's just me. The day is perfect. It's just me. So yeah, if you want to come and do it, do it. But it's just me, okay? I don't know where I'm going to go tonight. I don't know if I'm going to make it to that campsite I was talking about. That's probably another 15 miles away. But I don't think it closes as such, so if I just wander into the evening, which is sometimes a better time to walk anyway, because it gets a bit cooler. The sun's not quite so... Actually, it's not too bad at the moment anyway, but generally it gets a bit cooler. So I might just carry on, but I might stop short. I've heard there's plenty of spots for wild camping later on, or other campsites. So I've got loads of options. But yeah, glad I had that iced lolly. That's what you need if you're ever feeling a bit gloomy. Iced lolly. And now I'm going to go on now and beat my head out of this mood. Camera doesn't, it's hard to show on the camera, but you sit at these points, can't remember where I am, something point, Dutton Point something, and then you can look down the coastline. I think Falmouth's in that gap between the two there, but then it goes all the way down, and then you can see more land sticking out there. Although it's very hard to see it on the camera, and you sit here and you think, oh, in a few days I'm going to be all the way down there. Oh, I've got a long way to go yet. It sort of feels nice. I mean, do you think that's the Lizard Point sticking out at the end there? Not that one. bit further out there. Just can't see on the camera, but I can see it with my eyes. I think that's Lizard Point, sort of there at the end there, I think. I'm not sure. It might be another landmass blocking that, not sure. But anyway, it's always fascinating just to look all around the coastline to see where you're going to be going. In the spirit of sometimes getting a name right, it's Dodman Point, and it's got this big cross. So here we are, coming up the path. Little left over here, and this would look spontaneous if my poles weren't on the floor. And that is where I'm going to camp tonight. Not bad. Quite pleased with this pitch. It was a bit of a, well, obviously did the little message earlier where I said I was struggling. Then things got better, and then I carried on struggling. It just felt like every step was twice as hard as it was yesterday or the day before. So I was still trying to, in my head, thinking, oh, I'll just get to that next campsite because I know where it is, and I know that it's quite near the ferries for getting over to Falmouth and stuff. So it made sense, but I was, like I say, I was just struggling. It felt hard work. It was quite humid, quite hot today, which didn't help. So must have been about 4:30 or something like that. I just thought, what are you doing? And I saw a bit of flat ground. I wasn't going to camp there, but I just lied down and had a rest for an hour and a half. Just chilled out. I just thought, if you push to the campsite, you're just going to hurt yourself or something. You're not going to enjoy it. So just calm down, chill out. So I lied down, shut my eyes. I don't think I went to sleep, but I just had a proper chance to have a rest and enjoy being outside. I could hear the sea and stuff. Couldn't see it, I could hear it. And then it cooled down. Then it got to probably about 6 o'clock. It cooled down a bit, and I thought, right, just press on, maybe do another 5 miles. I could see sort of the landscape ahead,
and looked fairly good. And I felt better then, so I took my time, bit cooler like I said. And there's a couple of like little Poole whatever's, little inlets with just a few houses in a nice little beach. And I went to the second one, and there were some people there just standing around chatting, and two of them were locals. And I just told them how lucky I thought they were living here. And they asked me where I was heading and stuff. And I used to try and disguise the fact that I was going to be camping, but now, I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? Someone's wandering around at 8 o'clock at night with a backpack, just heading up into the cliffs. They're well camping, aren't they? Anyway, they just said, you'll get a spot up there, don't worry. And the lady of the couple actually said that if I wanted, I could go in there, and he lived just around the corner, and I could camp in their back garden if I wanted, if I was worried, which I thought was really, really nice. I probably would have got a cup of tea out of it. I do fancy a cup of tea, but I wanted to come up here, wanted a bit of time on my own, and be able to, leave or whatever. I just find it easier when I'm making my own decisions. But a really nice gesture. It's such a nice thing to do. I said I'd like to live here, and they said, you'd fit in, which I thought was really nice. So that was really positive. So even though today has been quite hard work, it's ended on a real positive. So I'm very happy. This pitch is flattish, so I think, and it feels quite secure. The guy said no one's going to bother you up there, and no one's walked past since I've been here. So hopefully I'll get a decent night's sleep. So then, if I do, then I'll be up early in the morning anyway, and I'll probably catch up what I would have tried to do today, but it'll be enjoyable rather than just a proper hard slog, which a lot of today was. I guess you just have days like that, don't you? And yeah, hopefully tomorrow will be a lot easier. But even if this is the worst day or a bad day, it's still pretty damn good. So, I've got to remember that. If this is a bad day is even a good day, and especially the way it ended. So I'm just going to it's about 9 o'clock now, I'm just going to grab myself something to eat and then set up my bed and stuff, and I might have an early night. I don't know what's going to happen with the ferries tomorrow now. I'm probably too far away to get over to Falmouth, but that's tomorrow's problem. We'll see what happens.
that's what I've got left. So that tap, well, it looks good. Much better, much better. I had another good night's sleep. I think I was just tired, so I had a good night's sleep. Brilliant camp, brilliant wild camp, best location, great sleep. Took my time in the morning. I wasn't moving till about 8:30. Sat on the floor for a bit after I packed up, updated my blog and stuff, and it all felt really good. The section after that was actually quite difficult, so I'm so glad that I stopped where I did, and then I was feeling good. I looked at the scenery, I was enjoying the scenery, I was enjoying the path, and I wouldn't have been doing that yesterday. I would have been just all in my own head, not really appreciating anything. So, wise move. Just got into Port Low. They had a tap. Taps look so attractive at the moment. So I filled up with water. Obviously my pack's now 2 kilograms heavier than it was before, but having that water is a good peace of mind in this weather. So yeah, do a quick spin round. All right, lucky boy. I haven't really got a massive plan for the day. I don't think I'm going to get over to Falmouth, and if I do get over there it'll be too late, so I won't really be able to find anywhere to camp. So I might walk to where the ferry would go from. The ferry goes from here to St Maurs, then St Maurs to Falmouth. Then it's quite built up, so what I might do is get to the ferry and then go inland a bit to a campsite and then walk back again in the morning to get to the ferry. So I've still done the coastal path, but I've got rid of going round. There's a headland round near farm round there. Literally just said the name. Falmouth. Yes, Falmouth. There's a headland just before you get there, so if I do that today, maybe that'll be a good idea. No, I don't have to do it tomorrow, and I can see when the ferries are running. The ferry to St Maurs can be affected by low tides, winds, whatever, so you just have to try and time it right. Anyway, good today. Good walking. Everything's going to be okay. I need to be careful today because last time I walked down here, 2 years ago, I got my feet all tangled up down here and ended up flying and going forward and lying flat on my face. So careful today. Although the first thing I did do when I fell over was check no one had seen, so obviously wasn't too badly hurt. clean. I had a shower. So, right, the camera stand just keeps on moving. I can see it fidgeting around. I don't know why it's doing that. Let me just press a button. Okay, we'll see. Yeah, so I've gone to a campsite. There basically were two plans today. Either I was going to get the ferry across to Falmouth, or I was going to get to the ferry, the point where you get the ferry, and then come back to a campsite. And I've done plan B. Now, I could have done plan A. I did have time, but I wouldn't have got over to Falmouth until about 5:30. And then I think it's probably a good 3 hours walk to get out of all the built-up areas around there. So then I wouldn't have had much opportunity to find a camping spot. Plus, when I was probably about 3 miles away from the ferry, I walked past a lady who was doing some art. She was just looking out to sea, drawing. And I was talking to her, and she lives around here, although she's from Nottinghamshire. Anyway, she was ever so nice, and I was talking about my plans, and she told me there's a shop here that opens till 7, and there's places that sell food. And she also said that now I've got to the ferry, the place where you get the ferry, I've done that bit of coast path, so I can now actually get a bus from where I'm at to St Maur's, and then get the ferry from there to Falmouth. So that's exactly the same route, still the coastal path, just means I don't have to walk all the way. Because basically I had to walk all the way to the ferry place and then walk all the way back to the campsite, although I did it inland, so it was a bit quicker. But then I haven't got to do that all over again. So you'll see it when I've done the blog and you see what route I've taken. I've sort of gone down the coast and then gone straight back up the middle. So I got to the campsite for about 6:10. I said to the guy here, can I just dump my bag somewhere? And he let me dump it in the back of his van. Then I rushed off to the shop because I didn't want it to shut. And I was just ravenous for everything. So I just bought loads of fizzy drinks because I was craving them. I bought a whole thing of grapes. Bought a little bit of steak. I thought I might try that for my tea with my pot. I'd see how that works. Bought a nice lolly because I've been craving lollies all day. I nearly stopped at a cafe to have one, but I wanted a can of drink as well, and they're charging £2 a can of drink, and I can't bear to get ripped off that badly. Winds me up. So anyway, I went past all those places, but it'd been on my mind all day, and when I got into that shop and I saw that they had ice lollies and drinks and stuff, it was like, oh, I'm going to buy everything. So that's what I did. Today has been a very good day. I've enjoyed it, even with the rush at the end to get to the campsite and then to the shop. I feel really nice now. I've had a shower, nice and warm. Yeah, and it'll be fun actually getting the bus tomorrow. I don't go on buses very often, so a bit of a novelty. I think that's it. Oh yeah, the woman I met doing the art, she got me thinking. I said, oh, I'd love to live down here. And she said, well, you just have to make things happen, don't you? She said it was quite hard. She found it quite hard to move. I didn't ask the details of why it was hard. You know, was it money or just family or what? I don't know. Didn't ask. But she says if you want something, then you just got to make it happen, haven't you? And that was nice. I was telling her about my sister being an artist as well. I said, oh, she sends me pictures and I say, oh, that's brilliant. And she goes, no, it's not. so that was funny. But yeah, it's really nice meeting her actually. And she was telling me about all the things I'm meant to be looking out for, like the chuff, which is Cornish bird, the Cornish main bird or something. And I've got to look out for that. It's got orange beak and orange, I'm going to say hands. They're not hands, are they? Things, claws, talons, I don't know. Anyway, I've got to look out for them. And she says there's some dolphins that I should be able to see, and seals. She said actually I should have already seen seals, and that's basic sea spotting, so I failed really, but I'll keep looking. But yeah, it was nice talking to her. And then I met another guy, a guy that was walking the other way to me, all in one go, but he was doing it in 28 days. Nuts. But I think he's going to make it. He started after me, and obviously we're going in different directions, but he's made it further than me because I'm not at the halfway point yet, and he's past his halfway point. So good on him. I was really impressed. Glad I wasn't having to keep that pace up. He was saying how on paper it looks okay, but once you get out there and you realise you can't walk at 3.5 miles an hour, even more like 2.5. Yeah, you realise it's quite tough. But yeah, it was nice. He was a really nice lad. Shame I won't talk to him again. He seemed like, yeah, a good guy. I told him where I'd wild camped last night because I think he might get there. So that would be funny if he ends up in the same spot as me. Anyway, I've got no internet reception here, so that's going to force me to read the Kindle. So that's good. Better than browsing, isn't it? I think I'm done now. I think I've said enough. Got my tan line. Yes, I've actually bored myself now. Right, I'm going to go.